Hello, welcome to Cooking with Cleo. Today we're going to be making an easy 20-minute pasta dish. What do you think, Cleo? Oh, she's a cute little thing. We're going to start by cutting half an onion. Now, this recipe is very loose, and I want you to kind of play around and explore. The point of this channel isn't for you to memorize some nice recipes. It's for you to understand techniques and be able to take that into your own cooking experience. So cut half an onion here, and then I'm just going to julienne it here. And remember, julienne is just little matchsticks of slices. All right, now we are going to go ahead and cut our squash. I have a summer squash, yellow summer squash, and I have a zucchini. And then Cleo insists that she joins the fun, so we're bringing her over. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut these squashes into quarters. There could be better ways to do this, and I'm sure there are other ways to incorporate these into our noodles that are a little less awkward for when we're actually putting the noodles together, but they worked out fine, and I think what matters is flavor. So you can experiment with your cuts here, or you can just go ahead and cut them like me. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and cut our zucchini. I am using the voiceover mic because Cleo wants to say some stuff. So I'm just using this because Tori ended up calling while I was filming, and the audio just got weird from that. So we are cutting our zucchini in quarters as well, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them in the same bowl as we put the yellow squash. Do you have anything else to say, Cleo?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay. And as always, don't forget to clean as you go. So here, I'm going to go ahead and cut this chicken. I'm just going to do about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch slices, and I'm just going to keep them as little slices. We can see here that Cleo tried to touch the chicken. Maybe that's not a great idea. So I'm just slicing it. Sorry, I had to move the cutting board away from Cleo, but pretty simple and self-explanatory here. And just a quick note, once that chicken is cut, we'll set it to the side, and then we'll just clean up everything. You want to scrub off the counters and make sure that everything's nice and clean before this next step. We are now ready to put some oil in a pan. Make sure to get the pan a little hot before you put the oil in, but it will heat up a little bit more after you put the oil in too. We want the oil to kind of shimmer before we put anything into the pan. I'm also mixing some of this fancier olive oil in. This is purely for flavor. Olive oil has a low smoke point, so when you cook in olive oil, it's more likely that you could easily burn things. That's not to say you can't cook in olive oil, but when you're cooking proteins, I think it's a lot easier to use vegetable oil. So this olive oil is purely for flavor, and you could add it now, or you could add it closer to the end after the chicken's done. I'm going to add it now. Our oil is nice and shimmery, so we're going to go ahead and add our chicken in. Now, most of the time when we cook chicken, we want to look for a Maillard reaction, so chicken browning. In this case, it's not as important. Usually, if you're cooking like chicken breasts, you really want that Maillard reaction. Just gives it an appearance of it's more cooked and it looks more delicious that way. But in this case, you don't need to worry as much about that. But it's something you can work on too if you want to try it. We're going to take a quick look at our pan. It's almost up to a boil, so I went ahead and added my noodles because I told you this recipe would be 20 minutes, and I'm going to make it 20 minutes for you. But normally you want more of a rolling boil. You can add salt to your pot to bring the water up faster, and then also you can increase your heat. So after I added those noodles, I increased the heat. And then we're back to our chicken now. All right, our chicken is looking like it is cooked through. So we're just gonna look at all these pieces, make sure there's no pink, and I'm adding the fancy olive oil, just a little bit more for that extra flavor here. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our onion. We're gonna kind of chop it up in the pan. We have it cut, it's just the slices haven't fallen apart yet, and they'll do that as they cook, so no worries there. We're gonna wanna make sure that this cooks until the onion is translucent. That's how you know the onion is cooked all the way through. But we'll probably be adding in our other ingredients pretty quickly too. And don't be afraid to season while you go. Right now I'm just gonna be adding a little bit of salt and pepper, and we'll add more seasonings closer to the end. Okay, so go ahead and check on your noodles. They should be done. Mine have already been strained, and I'm just going to put them to the side while we go ahead and add our zucchini and squash into our cooking pot. Our onions are nice and translucent, and the squash does not need long to cook here. So just give it a stir and give it a minute to fully cook. Okay, so we're getting some opaqueness on the edges close to the rind, which means that our squash is almost ready. So let's go ahead and add our noodles in, and we'll kind of mix everything together. We're going to add a little bit of our fancy olive oil. If you don't have fancy olive oil, you can just add normal olive oil. It's not a big deal. And then we're going to also add some Parmesan cheese, maybe a little bit of salt and pepper, and some maybe garlic salt. If you want to get real crazy, I wouldn't do garlic salt and salt, but you know, you do you. Try it out. Now let's go ahead and plate and enjoy your dinner. This is what the final product looks like.